Hi, I'm Emily, the founder of Reconnected Life, because rape isn't the end of the story and we do deserve to live a fully connected life again. I want to talk to you today about after. Lots of people say that we're changed forever, forever changed, that it will always be with us. And that's true, but it's also not. I used to think about it as before and after. So my life was one thing before, and then I was raped, and then my life became another thing. And I kind of gave it the status of like the freaking crucifixion of before rape and after rape, BC and AD. It just did not deserve to have that power over me. And I'm really angry at myself for having given it and given him as a result that kind of power over my life. Because whilst we have been changed, we actually have power in how we've changed. We can, once we've got over the initial shock and hurt and pain and however long that takes, years, months, days, it's different for us all. Once we've dusted ourselves off and surveyed the wreckage, we then have a choice about how we're going to live our life. And we can live our life in a different way. We can look at ourselves and we can say, actually, I want to reclaim that part of me. I don't like that part of me seems to have disappeared and been broken and gone. I want her back. And we can look at other parts of us and say, well, actually, good riddance. Those parts weren't serving me anyway. And we can redefine who we are and our identity in amongst the wreckage of what was. And we can emerge almost like a phoenix from the ashes, and in the way we want to be, sculpt ourselves. Tony Robbins says that. He says, you can choose to sculpt yourself, and actually we can. We have choices that we can make every day in who we are and how we want to be. And after does not need to mean that we stay broken and fragile. And let's just look at that, because there are so many examples, unfortunately, of women who have been raped and have emerged stronger, braver, bolder, roaring from the experience and creating a life that fulfills them regardless of what happened to them. No one thinks of Oprah as a victim. No one thinks of Madonna as a victim. No one thinks of Tori Amos, my total sheroes, as a victim. Doing some research for this, I discovered that Rita Hayworth had been a victim. No one ever talked about her as though she was broken and fragile, did they? Wherever you look, there are role models and icons of people who have been hurt by life, who have had their souls trampled on, perhaps, but who have emerged to say, no, that's not how I want to view myself. That's not who I am. So when people say to me that this will always be with you, yes, unfortunately, the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind doesn't really exist, and it's not a memory I can exorcise from my brain. But it also doesn't need to define me. And whilst I spoke about labels in the previous video, it also doesn't need to be the determining factor around how I live my life. It's just life, and it's mine. So what I want for you to do is to look at your own definitions of before and after and see that actually you don't need to think that way. You can still if you like, but make it your choice, not a need. Don't get sucked up into the rhetoric of what people say about you will always have this with you. Because this and how this is defined for you will change. It will definitely change. Take a look at some of your strengths, some of the qualities that you really admire in yourself, and say, yeah, that's me. I am those things. And if you struggle, because some people do, and I know I did for a really long time, and still do sometimes, to identify qualities in yourself that you admire, look at the qualities in people that you do admire and name those. Because if you can see it in somebody else, you also have it too. So I'll leave you with that. There is no after except the now, and we choose our now in every single moment. All the love. That's it from me today. Bye.